Last time I froze the watch. I got two watches to look at now, so what am I going to do with them? I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. We've got here the Carbinox Blaze Type R and the Blaze Type S. One's a circular watch, one's a square watch, but they're the same brand of watch, and I'm going to talk about that. I'll unbox this, and we'll do something extreme. Quick spoiler, I broke it. Yeah, and we're going to do that next on Geekazine. What's up, my geeks? Jeffrey Powers from Geekazine, Think Magazine, putting to geek. So what we got here is two different types of watches. One's circular, one's square, and they're both the same exact watch in the Blaze series from Carbinox. Now, if you don't know what Carbinox is, and you didn't watch my previous video, shame on you, by the way. It is a watch that it works under extreme pressure. So in the last video, what was I froze the watch for 12 hours to see how it would survive. Many people have run it over, hit it with hammers, dropped it off of buildings, lots of different things. So figuring out what I'm actually going to do with these watches, I have to think about that for a second. But first of all, we need to get these watches unboxed and go through the standard tests, how they work and everything like that. Now, these are 1.46 AMOLED display watches with Gorilla Glass Gen 3 screen, a U.S. military standard 810H certification, and IP69K waterproof rating. There's the zinc alloy metal body. It's shockproof and capable of withstanding water depths up to 10 to 15 meters. It's got a 350-hour battery life, which is about 14 days. And it has built-in GPS and Bluetooth, so it can catch signals and receive calls, all that other good stuff. And just like with the other watch, it measures the heart rate, the blood pressure, blood oxygen, supports up to 170 sports and activity modes. And it works with iOS and Android using the Carbinox app. All right, let's go ahead and unbox this. But before we do, I do have to mention that Carbinox did send these watches for my review, and they are sponsoring the video. All opinions are my own. You can find out more information over at geekazine.com/review. Let's go ahead and unbox these. I have a feeling they're going to be exactly the same, except for the fact that one's round and one's square. And so we'll just do this right now. And then if I verify that that's not the case with the second one, I will unbox it because I have to get it ready for, attempted destruction. Let's go ahead and get this cellophane off. So there's the watch. Let's go ahead and open it up. Shake, shake, shake. Let's pull this open. There we are. So here we got the watch right here. As you can see, I don't think the band's on it, and it's got a little printed interface, just so we just got to peel that plastic off. So that's the watch right there. This is the round watch, as you can see. Let's go ahead and open this up. We've got instructions right here. We've got a band right here. We've got a USB-C. Oh, this actually is different from the other one because the other one was just the charger itself and you plugged in a USB. This is actually attached to a cable. So that means that this is all one piece. And of course, you don't want to lose this. Let's do that. And then, of course, this sits like so. You see the little tines right there. And then there you see a couple dots on here. And then that'll magnetically clip on. I think there's some plastic I have to pull off. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's take off this faux interface. And then we've got the band, and basically the band's actually pretty straightforward. You have the little push-in thing, so we put it on the side here, and I think I'm doing it right for the wrist. Then you pull in that little button and it's on. So we have to do this for the other side. Oh, I should have probably pulled this off first. There we go. Of course, we have to do it for the other side. It's clicked into place. Let's go ahead and throw it on my wrist. I'll put it on my left wrist. Usually my watches I put on my right wrist. Even though I'm right-handed, I'm also a drummer, so sometimes that it basically the watch gets in the way. So let's go ahead, and there we go. A little stiff on the first wearing, and there we are. Now the watch itself has 4 buttons, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm assuming if I press one of them, that should turn it on. I'm a little concerned that the watch is upside down because I see the blaze and that's upside down. I think I have it upside down. So that would mean that this bottom button would be the way to turn it on, unless it needs to charge. It's upside down. Don't you hate it when that happens? So, which means that I put the band on upside down. It's not a big deal. It is a stiff band. That's pretty cool. Strap that in. There we go. So now we've got that on, and let's go ahead and take a look at this. So we hit the button and it says, what language do you want? We want English. We're going to choose that. And of course, we scan the app with the QR code. So, and I'm not sure if we use the same Carbinox app, because if I remember correct, there were a couple different apps. We'll go to device, and there's the Carbinox Edge. We just hit the plus button. It's saying searching for a device. We got the QR code, so maybe we'll have to do that. So I have a feeling that there's going to be a different app involved here. This also is the QR code that will get me the app. So let's go ahead and scan that. So this is the Carbinox Pro app, where the other one was the Carbinox Max app. When you're doing this, you'll need the Carbinox Pro app. I need to enter in a new email and password. We'll do that right now. So now we're back in, and it looks like, hey, what gender are we? That's the first thing it asks. And then, of course, it's asking for height, and it's going to ask for weight. And so let me put that in. And then it's asking for age. It says, do you want to set a goal for your steps? We'll just say 5. We'll keep it low. Complete. And then, of course, all the location can allow doing a Bluetooth check, all that other stuff. We haven't bound a device yet, so search for the device, and it should, hopefully it'll find it. There it is, the Blaze R, and we'll connect that, and it's connecting. I just felt a buzz. It's asking if I should pair. I'll say yes, and pair. Allow Blaze R to receive your phone notifications. Allow, and there we go. We are now connected with the phone. And as you can see, we have a nice little interface right there for the watch. That connected this watch with this phone. So we're good to go. Lots of features just like a regular smartwatch. Health information right there. This is what's called the sport information. It says, hey, do we want to send notifications? I'm going to say don't allow. We can change our watch interfaces. So that's the standard. Let's do this one. This looks pretty cool. Those look like hamster butts, and I think they are. So let's not do that one. Nice one with a kitten and a piglet. Let's do the kitty cat. There we go. And it's synchronizing right now. So we can see it sync, and then eventually we're going to see a kitty cat on my watch face. Pretty straightforward. There we go. Synced. Kitty cat. Look at that. So that's now synced. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unbox the Blaze S. I will pair it to this. I should be able to pair both watches and then wear one on my right wrist and one on my left wrist. And then we're going to figure out what we're going to do to try and destroy this watch. Or these watches, for that matter, actually. Okay, so this is the Blaze R, and of course, this is the Blaze S. This is what I've been testing. And the Blaze R, as you can see, it's exactly the same as the S, except it's square. And some people like a square watch. Some people like a circular watch. For me, circular is more prominent than a square watch. That I love it. I love the idea. That was going back to the Iron Man watch days, where I'd always have that circular watch. It's just a more prominent watch to me, but you might have a different thought on that. So That's why they made two different types of watches, the S and the R. The only differences between the R is that it's square. It comes with a square charger as opposed to a circular charger, but it has the exact same everything. With that said, let's move this aside and tell you what I did with the circular watch. And yes, I broke it. In fact, if you look, you can kind of see the crack right there. There we go. That's very prominent. Let's move over to this camera so you can see it better. Yeah, I'm trying to get that crack to so you can see that again. There it is right there. Look at that. So this is what I did to do that. As you know, and I think I said it earlier in the video, I'm a drummer. And of course, I went out to an event over the weekend and to play. And I thought to myself, I've been trying to figure out what's the best way to work on this watch and show how durable it can be. So I thought to myself, well, what if I drape it over a cymbal and then just hit it repeatedly? Now, I use electronic drums, so that's even better because if it was a regular cymbal, it would just do this really weird hit, 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 crash, 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 crash type sound. But by just draping it over the cymbal, using the latch like this over the screw hole, and it would just hang there. And when it's time to hit the cymbal, I'd hit the cymbal. And it did a great job. I mean, I was hitting the cymbal was reacting. Everything was going as well as it could. I put in a couple pieces of tape just to make sure that it didn't go flying off, but it still went flying off a few times. It was working really well. We did 2 1.5-hour sets in that show, and for the most part, I'd hit it a few times, and then it would fly off, and then I'd look at it, and I could still see the kitty cat, and I'd put it back on and continue to play. I'd hit it again and again and again and again. It really wasn't till the end of the show that this watch right here took the final blow. I'll show you the video right here when I hit the watch and it went flying. That's when I realized that it wasn't coming back. I would turn it on, try to turn it on, but of course there's nothing on the screen. However, the watch still works. If I plug it in, it'll charge. If I were to hit the right combination of buttons, it would go through my health status, and of course these lights would start to flash and everything like that. So the watch still works, and I can hook it up to my app and look at everything so I can wear it for sleep or for exercise. I just cannot tell you the time with this watch. And of course, striking a cymbal is with a drumstick is, it's not like a hammer. With a drumstick, I would relate that to actually slamming your wrist into a corner or a door or anything like that, door handle, but with a lot more force than what that would be. So in order for this to actually start to crack, it took a lot of different types of hits on the cymbal. And then finally the crack, as you can see, they got this small crack right there. But the rest of the watch does work, which means that if you have any type of issue and the face of this watch is broken, then the other things like the GPS and that will work under pressure. So you'll still be able to use this watch for a lot of things. It's very rugged. It took a lot for this to actually crack. So I was pretty impressed on that. Now, I never did that to the previous Carbinox watch that I reviewed. For the most part, it took a lot of stress. And the crack that's here, it's very unnoticeable until you actually look at it at an angle. So I'm guessing it's underneath the glass right here. So the actual screen underneath is what's cracked, not the glass. With all that banging and everything, it wasn't the glass that broke. So I must have hit this like right on the edge right here rather than because I was hitting the face. I was hitting the face, but it was right about here or down here where the damage probably took place because the glass is not cracked. Overall impressions, just like with the previous Carbinox, I was pretty impressed with how this watch worked. There are a couple of things that I get with most smartwatches in the Android that I didn't get with this one when I connect up to certain security cameras. I don't get the notifications that I would normally get. I'd get a notification if somebody texted me or I got an email. It told me to stand up several times. I'm not a big fan of that. I end up turning those little things off. But there were some extra apps on my iPhone that did not connect up. When it came to the Android, the watch connects up fine and it works really well with the app. When it comes to these types of watches, Android will work a lot better than iOS, but you can connect it up to iOS. The other thing that I noticed with this watch is, last time I talked about this side thing right here, and I think that's you can put this on a lanyard, or if you cannot wear the watch around your wrist, so you could use it like a timepiece. Now, in the previous one, it had the mount on both sides. This one has the mount on one side, whereas the R series of Blaze doesn't have it at all. You see that? So that's interesting. If you cannot wear a watch on your wrist, you have the ability with these types of watches, and that has the ability to put a strap, so you can hook it up to like a lanyard, so you can have it on your person, so you can check the time if you need to, rather than have it in your pocket like a phone, because you can't always pull the phone out of your pocket to do something like check the time. So other than that, I was pretty impressed with both of these watches. They did a great job in connecting up. They did a both great job in telling me different things like the time and everything like that. It went through all the apps, could put on watch faces. You could go through the apps. You can turn on and off all the things like this. Hey, it's time to stand up, time to take a nap, whatever, things like that. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of that. It really wasn't until I put this under some pretty extreme pressure that the crack happened. So the bands are easy to connect up, and they're very flexible for what you need. And of course, you can put it on your right wrist, left wrist, no problems right there. So, but the real question is, which one do you want to get? The circular one, the square one? Let me know in the comments below over at youtube.com/Geekazine, Geekazine.com. You can like, subscribe, comment, and hit that bell notification so you know when the next video comes out. Until next time, my name is Jeffrey Powers. Thanks a lot for watching. And you guys geek out and get a durable watch with Carbinox.